Hey there guys, Sean here, and I gotta mute this gameplay or it's gonna be way too loud and you're gonna hear it through my mic, and that would be bad. So, yeah, I haven't done a video in a long time. I've actually commentated over this exact gameplay probably 7 different times. Well, 7 different times that I've actually rendered out and was about to upload, and then I've been like, I don't feel like getting yelled at by the people, and so I'm not gonna upload this. But, I've had a lot of things to say, I just haven't said them. So I'm gonna start saying them, and I'm not gonna think twice, because that was my motto for a while, and then I was just like, I don't want to stir the pot, because I don't feel like having people yell at me. But you know what? Yell at me. Go. Yell. Scream. Start yelling right now. Go. Anyway, so this is League Play. You don't care. That's what you're watching. Anyway, so I did a video on the Zimmerman case, which for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, just Google it and you'll get the gist, because I don't need to explain it. But I decided, like, everyone's done that video, and I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to do my own thing, because I'm unique. Which is not true. Not that unique. I'm pretty unique, but I'm not that unique. And I really didn't do that video because I felt like everyone has really strong opinions on the subject. So I'm going to go for something with even stronger opinions. I don't know. I feel like I'm the worst. I'm the worst person when it comes to... I don't want to have people with strong opinions commenting. I just want to avoid that. And then so I come up with this idea, which is totally worse. But in that case, at least Zimmerman, he's not like... He's white, I guess. I mean, he's kind of... He looks more Latino-ish, but he's white. He's not black, okay? That's where we're going with this. That's what I'm trying to say. Trayvon is black. Which, if you didn't get that yet, you don't know what I'm talking about, and you should probably go Google it, like I said. Anyway, those are the people we're talking about here. And a lot of people have been speculating that the reason Zimmerman found Trayvon to be suspicious walking down the street was because he's black, and that he followed him and all that, and if it was a white kid walking down the street, he wouldn't have paid attention at all. Now, what do I think? Because, of course, you want to know what I think, because I'm very important. I believe that's probably true. I think that, I mean, because his whole argument was he was walking slowly in the rain, and that's why he thought he was suspicious. Now, I don't want to frighten everyone, but me and my friend have gone out at like 10:30 at night and walked slowly in the rain. It's happened, and... You know, I don't anticipate someone coming out of their house and shooting me for doing such a thing. I don't think you would shoot me. So, I put myself in that situation. I'm walking down that street. George Zimmerman sees me. Does he shoot me? I don't think he does. I feel like I'm that white kid walking down the street in the rain. You know, it sucks. It's raining. Fuck. I don't want to be out here in the rain. Like, I didn't ask for this. So, I don't understand. Like, I don't think he would have shot him, or at least been suspicious of him, if he was white. I feel like he said there were robberies, he figured black people rob houses, I'm gonna go get this black kid because he's the one doing it, because he's in the rain walking slowly. Now, another problem I have with that theory, who robs houses in the rain and just walks and rob? Who walks to rob a house? What are you gonna steal if you're walking? Are you gonna walk out with like a TV in your hands, just walk down the street in the rain with like a 55-inch flat screen? I don't think you're gonna do that. But this whole thing brought another question in my head, which is me trying to piece things together in my head. Now, the U.S. has a terrible history when it comes to race, which I always find ironic based on the fact that the whole country is built on immigrants, but we white Europeans are terrible when it comes to non-white Europeans. We are notorious for being awful. When it comes to Native Americans, we were awful. When it comes to black people, we were like, we're just terrible people. We're just the worst. I mean, the Louis C.K. joke, if anyone's ever seen it, is he's talking about Native Americans and how we were like, are you Indians? And they were like, no. And then we're just like, yeah, you're Indians. We don't care. We just called them Indians because we didn't want to listen. Like, they thought they were in India. They didn't mean like Indians like you might think of with like the feather like hat thing. They thought they were in India. They were not in India. They were not anywhere near India. Like, they missed India by 100 million miles and they ended up here and they thought they were in India. And then when they were told they weren't in India, and they were told it was a totally different place, they ignored them because it was easier for them, and they don't give a fuck because they're white Europeans, and white Europeans don't give a fuck about anything. So, we're terrible people, just know that to begin with. I admit to our horribleness, and so forth. So moving on into another portion of this conversation. We've been doing a lot. I don't think did I do a video on the Supreme Court's rulings on DOMA and shit? I don't think I did. Well, anyway, we've been doing a lot in the country, in the US, over here, and the UK just legalized gay marriage, so, ho-ho, yeah, UK, go you guys. I don't like you for much, but I like you for that. Just kidding, you're fine, you're just nice people. Although, white Europeans, and, yeah, you suck. But anyway, and by Europeans, I'm considering Americans who originate from Europe, white Europeans. I'm not just yelling at Europeans. I mean everyone who's white, basically, because we all didn't start here, pretty much, for the most part. Anyway, moving on. So, I didn't talk about DOMA and things, but in the US, gay marriage and such things have been a big topic of discussion. And there's been a lot of shit getting done, a lot of shit not getting done, but progress has been made ever so slightly, and one day we will finally figure this out. But a thought I had while we were doing this whole thing is, people, like, who are really racist, like, really hate people who don't look like them. Like, they despise them. So, I was thinking, you can see that someone's black by looking at them. They're black. Like, it's easy, you just look, and that's what they are. And there's no if, and, or but about it. You just look at them, and you see it. Someone has to tell you they're gay, pretty much. I mean, yes, if it's like a pride parade, it's assumed if they're in the parade and they're dressed like, I don't know, a fairy from the sky. Like, you know what I'm saying. But, and you can make assumptions. You can look at people the way they're dressed and be like, he's gay. But you might not be right. You might be totally wrong, and then you just look like an asshole. But you can definitely tell someone's black. So say, you can't tell someone's gay unless they tell you. But this is what I'm saying. I'm trying to, like, I'm seeing that I'm running out of video, and I'm trying to speed this up. So, I was wondering, people, you know, assume that this black guy is going to do this and that, or they just don't like them, and they, you know, back when, like, the civil rights shit was going down, people just, like, attacked black people because they didn't like them. Like, it wasn't, they weren't necessarily, the black people weren't necessarily robbing them or being thought to have robbed them or going to rob them. They just attacked them because they didn't like them. And we're kind of in a similar place when it comes to gay rights. Not that, like, gay people are necessarily like, here's your water fountain, but, you know, similar distrust, dislike, and just lack of, like, equality. So I was thinking, if someone, you could just see someone was gay, would people like George Zimmerman, you know, chase after them and shoot them because they were gay and they didn't like them? Because people do get killed for being gay. Like, there was a guy in New York recently who was just, like, just killed, and I think they wrote, like, a note or something as to, like, he was gay, that's why they killed him, or something stupid like that. So it does happen, but would it be a more common occurrence if, like, everyone wore a t-shirt that said they were gay or straight? Like, it was just like, or it was like, they had to get a tattoo on their forehead that everyone could see, and it would be like, gay, and then everyone would, like, just attack you and kill you. Because I feel like, I always, like, when everyone was doing this whole thing with Trayvon, and, like, there were a lot of people in that juror, Beat 37, who, like, talked, who didn't seem to really, didn't seem to understand Trayvon's point of view, or African-American point of view on this. She was, like, very much like, oh, George, you know, poor white guy. And I don't blame her necessarily. She is white, and she just doesn't get it. But, like, I sort of get, like, I'm not black, but, like, I'm gay, and I get the whole, like, weird, I get this other perspective of, like, you're not the thing that everyone is. You were this other thing, and, like, there are a ton of people, but at the same time, it's not, everyone has a weird perspective on it. Like, the people who argue that gay people always had rights, they just had to follow our rules. They have to marry a woman. Well, that's not, that's actually wrong, but nice try. or the people who are like, well, you chose it, this is your fault. No. So I understand the perspective of the smaller group, of not the majority. I get the perspective. So I always, with this whole Trayvon thing, I understood and I saw immediately like how he or they would feel like being the smaller group. I totally got it immediately. It wasn't a question. Like I can empathize, that's the word I've been looking for while I've been trying to explain this, with minority groups based on being in one. Hi. So I get it. And it made me wonder, like, you know, would I walk down the street and get shot in the chest because they didn't like me? Because, I mean, that's definitely a possibility. If I walk in the wrong place with a sign, I may get shot. And if that happens one day, and you see that on the news, and you see my name, can you just be like, link everyone to this video, tweet the shit out of this? Because I warned you. I warned you. I was like the second coming of Jesus, even though Jesus may or may not hate me. I was the second coming of that guy. And yeah, so that's my point. Maybe I'll do a follow-up. This is the stuff I like to talk about. So just expect me to talk about this stuff, and then when there's stuff like the Xbox One and GTA 5 and all this shit, I'll get to that. And then when there's Call of Duty stuff, I'll get to that. And then when I want to babble about League of Legends with you guys, which I keep doing and then not posting the videos, we'll get to that. But I do like this kind of stuff. I will probably be covering more of this kind of stuff, maybe in the vlog format in the future, because it's easier, and this doesn't really fit with gameplay. But anyways, thanks for watching. What do you guys think? And I'll see you maybe tomorrow. Bye.